Hello my people on YouTube. So this is the video I was talking to y'all that I was going to be making, and what I did ahead of time was, the plan was not to do this ahead of time, but it's like when I started doing it I just kept on going and going and going. But consider this a demo of what I'm going to be doing now. So this is the backbone that I had drawn in an earlier video, and what I did was I just made a copy of the backbone, and this is the original, and then I did another copy and then just part of that, and then what I did was I made a head for this creature. It kind of looks like a little prawn. That was not my intention, but that's what I was drawing at the time. And then I originally drew a big eye, and it was looking kind of a little goofy, so what I did was I erased it, and then I did these smaller looking alien looking eyes. So let me show you the original piece just to refresh your memories. This is what I started with originally. So what I did was I made a copy of this and then just duplicated that, turned it around, and the creature, which was what I told you earlier on, that I thought of it as a centipede, so that was my version of the centipede. So now with that being said, let's start on the hand, and then I will show you my thought process as to how I did that. So let's start by first hiding these. Alright, so now I'm gonna turn on this layer, which is the hand, and I'm gonna maybe increase the hand size a little bit. And what I do is, usually when I start these creature creations, I usually make a duplicate of this hand, or not of this hand, but of this part of the body that I'm going to be working on. So just in the event that I don't like how the image is turning out, I can just scrap this and then start over fresh, so that way I don't have to recreate it. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to turn this around a little bit, and now since the hand has already got the fingers to it to add the element of creature creation, what I'm gonna do is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie The Thing, but it's all about these really creepy alien looking creatures. Most of them have like that tentacle kind of a look, so that's what I'm gonna do on this thing. So I'm gonna enlarge the screen over here, or zoom in I mean, and then let's start with the tentacle. And the tentacle is just pretty much just a series of swirly lines. I'm gonna take that a little bit past there and then erase that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give this tentacle some sort of body, or thickness I mean. Let's do that. There's that. And then we'll turn it around, start from there. The best part about doing this drawing challenge, or kind of, is it's straight from my mind onto the digital canvas. I mean, there's no thought process as to what it might be, so what it's coming out right now is completely raw as can be, and unplanned. Turn that around again. If you ever noticed or even looked at a tentacle up close, that by itself has got a very alien looking look to it, because I guess of the shape of the tentacle, and then the suction cups that it has, and then that's the same thing with the octopus. And maybe what I was thinking of doing later on is I was going to but I'm thinking about it, is I'm going to do a series of drawing maybe animal skeletons in my style, and see how that goes. So now what I'm going to do is, I've got the tentacle looking shape, I'm going to add the suction cup to it, and for that what I'm going to do is turn it around over here and begin with that. I think the suction cup on these tentacles really give it that something unique to it. So there's one. I'm gonna select that. And this is what I do for most of the drawing to save time, is I'll use one part of it and then just duplicate it, and now make this one bigger, just so it looks something a little bit different. And then I'll position that over here. What I'll do is then I will go back to this layer, use the selection tool, and then just take out this excess digital ink that I don't want. Erase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on with this part and finish the suction cups throughout the tentacle, and then I will see you in the next part of the video. Alright guys, so I'm back. So what I did was I went ahead and kept finishing the suction cups, and I started with a little bit of the detail. And when I put these lines down, it's not just about putting the line down. It's what I think about is what is it that caused those lines. So now in this case, my thought process is like, now these lines over here, or over here and over here, is kind of like, you know, maybe this creature was in a battle or a fight with another creature, and then these spots just kind of signify some sort of age to these things, which make it seem like, you know, it's not a new tentacle, it's a tentacle that has been through stuff. So that's the process of that. And then what I did was I originally drew these lines, the pen being at a 10 setting, and then I reduced it down to 5 because I changed the canvas size from 3500, what I usually work in, down to 2000, so it'll be easy processing for my tablet. It seems to get hiccupy and want to jitter and just crash, so that's not a good thing. And because it's a vector drawing, I mean, I can always resize it back up to what I want later on. So then I did all that, and then again I'm gonna do these lines, as I said, too. And see what I used to never do this before, but I used to kind of like just draw in one line weight, and now I've slowly been experimenting with doing these different line weights. Like you see how this line is nice and thick, and then this one is in a 10, and then this one is in a 5. So when you use these different line weights, it gives the illustration a nice different look. I don't know what is the exact terminology when it comes to changing out the line weight. There is this one artist that I follow on Instagram. His name is Devine, and he does skeleton art as well, and he's a tattoo artist, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's based out of the UK. So he and I chat with him via IG Instant Messenger, and I like how his style of art is. Here, let me show you real quick. This is my Pinterest account, and this is oh yeah, by the way, this is something I was just looking at prior, or while I was not recording, to just see what is it that this artist did to give the texture to the tentacle. But this is kind of just as an example of what he draws. So that's one. And you see how the different line weight, how it makes the like now this one he's drawn the skull, and then to illustrate the hair, how he has reduced the line weight down to like maybe a 1 or a 2, and then well, this is not appropriate for YouTube, so we'll just do that. He has gone ahead and changed out the thing to give it the texture and the shadows and all that. And then there's this one, which I think was a recent one he did, which I like this, how he has done the illustration of kind of like almost like hair coming out from inside the eye, but all it is pretty much just line weight. That being said, let's come back to this, finish up the lines on this. If anybody's wondering why I stopped the video halfway through and record the line weight, it's because I don't want to keep showing y'all, like it's kind of like just redundant. So that's why I kind of like stop and then come back and then show y'all what is it I'm doing. Alright guys, so this is what I ended up doing with the tentacle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this tentacle and place it in a different line weight for the other half of this, or not the other half, I'm sorry, creating of the creature. So I'm gonna drag this over. Sometimes turning it around helps in where you want to place it. So let's see if I can somehow make this thumb that is turned into the tentacle. So let's turn that over to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position this over here in a way. I think that looks about right. Yeah, let's roll with that. So I'm going to stop that over there. Not stop that, but take out the selection. And what I'm going to do over here now is I'm going to select this part of the thumb. And delete. Oh, erase, I'm sorry. Okay, now we got that. Then I'm gonna reselect the tentacle and maybe just reduce it a little bit, place it over there. So now the part of the plan is to make this part of the thumb and this part of the tentacle look like it's what was morphed, or it kind of what do you call it, mutated into this tentacle. So I'm going to select that layer, just connect the lines. This part of it, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, and then I'm gonna select that and erase that over there, and then erase that over there. Now at this point, since I've already got the joint part done, I'm gonna fuse that layer or merge down, and now it's on the same layer. So now I can do the edits, and I'm gonna use the selection tool actually for this, and then I'm just going to erase that out. I'm gonna erase this, deselect, and then let's see, I'm gonna take out part of this over there. And as I said earlier, this is there's no plan in this, it's just doing everything on the fly. This is a good experiment, or not experiment, a good way to get your mind into thinking of how you can create something out of nothing. It just helps you, I think, I want to say, be more creative, so that way you're not copying something that's already out there. So that little notch over here, maybe I'll leave that in, or actually let's go ahead and fill that, and then I'm gonna select that and give it some sort of ripped look, like as if the tentacle kind of ripped apart over there, and go over that with the pen. And now it's all about making this piece look the same, or look like it's part of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just come in with a line over here, and then add the dots, and then let's see, I'm gonna turn the line weight down to 5 again and give it that weathered line look. And you know what, I don't think I like this anymore, so I'm just gonna fill that in. So what I did was I selected this tentacle, if you're just joining me, and moved it up over here, and I erased the edge of the thumb to make it look like as if the thumb has somewhat morphed and become a tentacle. So what I'm going to do now is let's add some sort of twine, because that's my other favorite thing I like to draw. So I'm going to select a new layer, gonna bump that back up to 10 and start with the twine. So same thing, just like how we started the tentacle. I'm gonna start it over here, get it over the thumb, over the pinky finger, have it go over there, and then since it's underneath that, it's gonna come out from here. Then maybe, actually no, let's do that. Take it back from underneath the thumb. Let's put it over here. So now what I did was made it look like it's going in the finger, so it's gonna probably come out on the other side. And again, use the technique of pushing the pen down, and so it actually looks like twine compared to when it started out. And have it go again from underneath. And then just make it loop around over here, or entangle, I guess. And we're gonna have to finish the twine up. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the leaves. So for that, what I'll do this time around is, instead of drawing it, I'm gonna use a selection tool, draw a leaf. What I think a leaf would look like is one. And then for that, what I'm gonna do is select the paint bucket tool and drop the paint in. Deselect. And now I'm going to do the same texture what I did in the last rib cage drawing, and let's try something a little bit different over here. So I'm gonna select that over here like that, over here like that, and over here. Erase, and just like that we have a new texture for this leaf. So the reason I add these leaves and the twine is all to tie into the whole thing of the skeleton art, which is, you know, to give it the anything skeleton related has always got some age to it. The lines give it the look of age, the spots, and then the twine pretty much signifies nature. So that's my thought process when I do these illustrations. And what I'll do is I'm just gonna continue on with this twine layer, and then do it for the rest of the fingers maybe, and then we'll see what I can do next. Maybe I'll do some eyes or something, meet you back, and finish up the line part of it, and then we'll move on to the coloring. Alright people, so I'm back, and I went ahead and, as I told you earlier, I went ahead and did all the dropping of the flat colors. So now what I'm going to do is the shading. So for that, I'm going to create a new layer above the flat color layer, and then I'm going to do it as a clipping mask. And for the clipping mask, I think I already told you guys this earlier, is whatever shading that I do on that layer over here is going to show up above on the color layer, and it's not going to allow the color to go out of that. So let's choose this color, and I'm going to use the selection tool. And what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to start with these fingers and probably work my way slowly into the tentacles. So let's start with that, and we'll see how far we get. So I'm going to zoom in on that and begin. I think the best part about coloring with the selection tool is you can get this nice, very raw looking texture to the art, and something that you cannot really get with a brush. I mean, even though you do try it, you could get it, but it's much more quicker and a much more efficient way of shading something. And what I was telling you guys about the clipping mask is, like, say you can go out like this with the thing while making the selection, and you won't have to worry about that color going outside. So when I drop it, there you go. See, it didn't the color didn't go out of this layer. So that's pretty much the whole point of the clipping mask. That's something I didn't even know about until I learned it from another artist, which is a real game changer, and like it saves a whole lot of time as opposed to having coloring the old traditional way. Now if you were doing this traditionally, yeah, I mean, you would have to definitely work on staying within the lines. So another thing what I was going to tell you is, this is something even I'm learning by myself, is do shading, you always got to know where your light source is coming from. So in regards to this one, I'm gonna pretend like the light's coming in from your right side, that is over here, and like the lights flashing on this. So with that being said, the shadow will be a little dark over here, and then you'll have like another darker color over here, and then you'll have the lighter layer over here because the light's hitting it from this angle. I think what I'll do is, I have this written down in my notes, and I'll probably do just a color tutorial to show you guys what I do for the entire process, as opposed to just doing this where I do part of it, cut in, and come back and show you all kind of like a reveal. So it's kind of like, I don't believe in the whole point of making a course or anything, because I think personally having to just show you what I draw and my process behind how I do it, I think is a course in itself almost. And I'm not gonna, what do you call it, I forgot what I was gonna say, but yes, what I was gonna say is, I don't think I might ever consider ever making a course. I mean, the best you'll ever get out of me is I'll show you the process as to what I do, and so that way y'all can learn, and if it helps you, excellent. And comment below, and let me know what is it you like or dislike about what I'm doing, because that's the only way I get feedback, or I can get feedback to know if the stuff that I'm putting out there is something that y'all want to watch and switch it up. And as I said earlier on in my other videos, that probably considered maybe doing an animal head, maybe a dog or a rhino. I haven't done in the past, but I think that'll be something different to get away from just drawing just skeleton bones of humans. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, since this is already up to almost 6 minutes on this little snippet on the video, I'm gonna finish the shading, and when I come back I will show you what is it exactly that I did. So this entire video I tried my level best to keep it under the, I'm going to at least try my level best to keep it under the 30 or 40 minute mark, to see if that's a better use of people's time, so that way they can get the most information with the least amount of time. But as I said, it's an experiment and seeing, because what I do edit out is I just edit out the stuff that I can and which I don't really want to be on there, which is the all that stuff, and that's honestly something you don't want to be hearing. But when you don't have a professional mic and you're just using the mic on your phone, you gotta make the best with what you have. So yeah, but let me finish off the rest of this shading, and I will see you back here to do the final wrap up and show you what I did, and possibly talk about what is my plan for the next video, go from there. So this is what I ended up finishing the shading part with, and these are the 4 colors I used for the purple, and these are the colors I used for the yellow. And then if I want to show, here's the colors I ended up using, which were 8 of the yellows, I'm sorry, 4 of the yellows and 4 of the purples. So the more I looked at the finished piece, the more I thought of a hermit crab, except this one would be the hermit hand, and somehow this tentacle looking creature has made the hand its official home and is trying its best to stuff itself inside this. So for the next one, what I'm going to be doing is the rib cage and the hand, and I haven't decided on whether I'm going to show you all the entire rib cage drawing or if I'm going to show you all the entire foot drawing. Did I say hand or foot? The rib cage and the foot. So what I might do is I'll have to choose, I guess, again between the two, because if I decide to make both of it, it's probably going to end up being a 2-hour video, which I don't really think I'll want to sit down to watch 2 hours of drawing. But if you all do, let me know in the comments and I'll try my best to make it a 2-hour video. I guess I'll wrap it up with that and saying, keep creating, keep drawing. I'll see y'all down the road or on the other side. Bye for now.